Hello, you're watching Qpvn News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. Vietnam supports businesses in advancing sustainable development. Music healing medicine for patients. Bringing love to frontline at sea. From July the 15th to the 18th, Hải Phòng City is hosting the third meeting of the APEC Business Advisory Council, or ABAC, one of the most significant annual gatherings of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. The event serves as a platform for regional business leaders to finalize policy recommendations ahead of the APEC Leaders Summit, scheduled to take place in the Republic of Korea later this year. On July the 16th, President Lương Cường attended the opening session and delivered a keynote address, reaffirming Vietnam's strong commitment to supporting enterprises in promoting sustainable and inclusive growth across the region. Attending the opening were senior leaders from various Vietnamese ministries and sectors, ambassadors and heads of diplomatic missions in Vietnam, leaders of multinational corporations, financial institutions, research and innovation centers, along with representatives of businesses from 21 APEC economies. The choice of Vietnam as the host for this meeting reflects the region's recognition of Vietnam's important role and growing prestige in the Asia-Pacific. President Lương Cường emphasized that the world and the region are facing major challenges, including geopolitical tensions, climate change, shift in trade policies, and supply chain disruptions, which demand a new level of multilateral cooperation and public-private dialogue. In this context, the President praised ABAC's role as a vital bridge between the private sector and APEC economic leaders. President Lương Cường welcomed ABAC's selection of key discussion topics such as free trade and sustainable investment, digital transformation and artificial intelligence, green finance and sustainable development, healthcare security, and innovation in biotechnology. He affirmed that these align with Vietnam's development priorities through 2030 with a vision toward 2045. To advance these goals, Vietnam is undergoing robust institutional reforms, improving its legal framework and building a transparent, competitive and stable investment and business environment. The President reiterated that Vietnam regards businesses as a pioneering force in the country's modernization. Vietnam has introduced many strategic policies to support businesses in areas such as access to capital, technology, tax policy, administrative reform, digital infrastructure development, and open data. Sharing Vietnam's development goals, President Lương Cường affirmed that Vietnam offers investors strategic access to a wide range of markets and regional supply chains. Investing in Vietnam means investing in a dynamic, stable and fast-growing economy and making a strategic move to connect with major global partners and free trade zones. On July the 16th, Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh, Deputy Minister of National Defense, chaired a working session with the Arms and Service Technical Department under the General Logistics Technical Department on the results of technical work in the first 6 months of 2025 and set out tasks for the remaining months of the year. In the first 6 months of 2025, the Arms and Services Technical Department has well promoted its advisory role in grasping and implementing all aspects of technical work. At the same time, the agencies will be ensuring technical equipment for all units in the military, promptly meeting regular and unexpected task requirements. To continue completing technical tasks in the coming time, Senior Lieutenant General Lê Huy Vịnh requested the department to focus on promoting the strategic advisory role on technical work, improving the effectiveness of technical assurance for specialized sectors, focusing on the A80 task, ensuring good technical equipment and weapons for training, exercises, and combat readiness tasks. As part of the policy and mass mobilization activities in the central provinces, on July the 16th, the General Staff Working Delegation, led by its Deputy Chief, Lieutenant General Phạm Trường Sơn, offered incense and flowers to commemorate the heroic martyrs at Chuang Bon Historical Relic Site. Offering incense at the common grave of 13 heroic youth volunteer martyrs and the memorial house of 1,240 heroic martyrs, Lieutenant General Phạm Trường Sơn and members of the working delegation expressed their respect and gratitude for the heroic sacrifices of the heroic martyrs for the cause of national liberation and reunification. During the event, Lieutenant General Phạm Trường Sơn and the delegation offered incense and flowers to commemorate President Ho Chi Minh and the heroic martyrs at the Memorial House of Division 324, Military Region 4. The program Bringing Music to the Hospital was organized by Military Hospital 354 in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, with the participation of artists, military doctors, and kind-hearted people. The program is a spiritual gift, adding strength, faith, and hope to patients and showing gratitude to wounded soldiers and national contributors. In the midst of what seemed to be only signs and the sound of medical machines, the sounds of faith, hope, and love resounded, helping to alleviate the tiredness of patients and giving more motivation for doctors to work harder day and night. Doctors told me to strictly follow their instructions and treatment regimen for the best results, and thanks to the music played at the hospital, I also feel better. We see our patients happily singing along with the singer. Their mood has also been lifted. That's a positive signal for us to continue the treatment. Music cannot heal physical wounds, but it wounds the heart and gives patients the will to live. We're happy to perform for patients, helping ease their pain and motivate them to live with a positive mindset. We often hold charity programs at the hospital to help patients. Thanks to sponsors, we can give presents and support patients with difficulties, and this live music program is also part of it. In a place where there seem only pains and illnesses, artists and military doctors together sing the most beautiful melodies of life with love, sympathy, and sharing. Coming up next, Vietnam and Azerbaijan Business Forum 2025 kicks off. Bringing love to frontline at sea. As part of the Vietnam-Azerbaijan Intergovernmental Committee meeting, the Vietnam National Startup Association and the Ministry of Industry and Trade co-hosted the Vietnam-Azerbaijan Business Forum 2025 in Hanoi on July the 16th. Under the theme, Mobilizing Investments for Innovation in the Digital Era, the forum brought together businesses, investors, experts, and policymakers to strengthen ties in industry, technology, and innovation. The forum aimed to strengthen economic cooperation, connect businesses, investors, and policymakers, and transform signed agreements into long-term strategic programs. A key objective was to foster a favorable legal and policy environment that enhances resource coordination between government bodies, enterprises, and startup support organizations. One highlight of the event was the promotion of innovative models such as eSME House, envisioned as a central hub supporting startups within the national ecosystem. In the first quarter of 2025, the two-way trade value between Vietnam and Azerbaijan exceeded $100 million, signaling robust recovery and vast potential for growth. With complementary economies, Vietnam is well positioned to export high-quality agricultural goods and textiles, while Azerbaijan can provide vital inputs such as crude oil, cotton, and textile materials to fill Vietnam's expanding industrial base. With the spirit of every Vietnamese, wherever they are, is an inseparable part of the nation. Resolutions of the party have facilitated overseas Vietnamese to integrate into their local communities while preserving their cultural identity and maintaining strong ties with their homeland. In addition, practical policies have been implemented to attract talent, encourage investment, and harness the expertise of overseas intellectuals for the nation's development. Many overseas Vietnamese have taken the lead in returning with the desire to contribute to building a prosperous country. On the front line of the Trường Sa Spratly Islands, the love for the homeland is sown and nurtured each day. Back then, there was no school on the island, only a few worn desks and chairs, and the eager eyes of children longing for study. From that quiet urgency, a school building campaign was born. Nearly 700 organizations and individuals from across Vietnam and around the world came together, contributing whatever they could, even from the modest personal savings. This reflects the unwavering commitment of the party, government and state to placing trust in overseas Vietnamese and empowering them with greater responsibilities. I believe that in the years to come, Vietnamese abroad will continue to embrace invitations and initiatives from national leaders, returning to contribute with pride. Recently, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm reaffirmed a powerful message: overseas Vietnamese and those at home are one inseparable community. We share the same roots, the same red blood and yellow skin. Wherever we go, for whatever reason, our hearts remain anchored to the homeland. In 2014, VIET Scholarship Fund launched the For Beloved Hoàng Sa Trường Sa Club, uniting hearts from home and abroad in support of officers, soldiers and fishermen, safeguarding sovereignty in the East Sea, also known as South China Sea.
Kiều bào ở nước ngoài.
Overseas Vietnamese through the For Beloved Hoàng Sa Trường Sa Club have shown deep affection and regularly coordinated visits to encourage officers and soldiers both onshore and across island outposts, especially on the Trường Sa Spratly Islands and the DK1 platforms. This continued support is essential today, particularly as our troops are steadfastly safeguarding the sacred sovereignty of our sea and islands. Lieutenant Junior Grade Nguyễn Sơn Tùng of Brigade 167, Naval Region 2, received support from VIET Scholarship Fund and the For Beloved Hoàng Sa Trường Sa Club to build a new home. More than just a home, it stands as a symbol of support, strengthening its resolve to safeguard the national sea and islands. Earlier, we had to rent a house. My wife worked shifts, and our parents gave us a piece of land. We saved up, and thanks to the support from the local authorities, organizations, and my unit, we now have a home. It helps me focus on my duty. This is part of a key policy of the party, the state, and the Ministry of National Defense. With strong support from benefactors and companies, these meaningful efforts have helped officers and soldiers of Naval Region 2 secure housing and family stability, enabling them to stay committed to their vessels and safeguard the nation's maritime sovereignty in the current context. The fund has assisted the construction of over 100 houses for people who contributed to the nation, but are now in difficult situations. These houses help soldiers stabilize their family lives and feel reassured in safeguarding our maritime sovereignty. This new house is not just a fresh start for the family, it's a meaningful bridge between the military and the people. For Nguyễn Sơn Tùng and his family, this is a source of motivation for overcome challenges and remain steadfast in fulfilling his duties for the sailors of Naval Region 2. Each home given is a testament to enduring comradely bonds and the timeless spirit of Uncle Ho soldiers. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.